Hey guys, welcome back to my video. And today's video is a little bit different than previous videos, but I'm going to be going over some of the best tips and tricks to help you actually get better at Bed Wars and have a higher chance of winning fights or games. Now, I'm going to make 6 parts to this. This is part 1. Depending on when you're watching this, I might have already released all the episodes to this series. If so, it'll be on a playlist on my channel. Link in description if it actually has finished. Either way, this video is going to be going over one of the most important aspects of actually Bed Wars, and this is game sense. Now, what do I mean by game sense? Game sense like when to do certain things, what you need to buy, just general things that you get by playing the game in decision-making process. Now, I'm going to get into a Force game so I can try to show you what I'm talking about and some examples of things that you should try to implement into your own games and just think about whenever you're actually trying to play. One important part of game sense is knowing where to bridge and when in what stages of the game. Now, generally speaking, personally, I usually get like 42 irons, that way I have enough for tools. If someone has a bed defense, I can easily break it, and the rest for blocks, so I can have a quick bed defense and enough blocks to bridge to wherever I need to go. Now, each of a map has a different rush type. And this is where everyone goes to rush the closest team. What's the fastest way to get to them? This map, it's mid. Now, going to Diamond is still 100% productive and useful because it has, well, diamonds on it. But the generalist place to rush is mid. So if you don't want to get rushed, I would not suggest pushing mid on certain maps. And if you want to get rushed, then do it. Or some maps have diamonds. Just depends on each map individually. What rush maps, if they're diamond rush, if they're emerald rush, whatever it is, you'll learn it. In addition to that, you will over time learn when to jump. Like, I can see this guy as a fireball, so I'm able to block clutch and reorient myself based on that. Now, in this scenario, odds are if I drop down, I'm probably not going to get their bed, however, I'm going to try anyways. And because no one was looking, I actually did get it. Now, that is just a piece of game sense that you can just learn over time. Now, another key aspect of playing the game is knowing when to void. And when I say by void is, let's just say in this game, there might actually be a time later on, but let's just say I'm at mid, and I notice that there's someone who's coming to our base, and my teammate's not there. Or even if there's 2 of them and 3 of them, and my teammate is there. I would decide, and it would make the decision, is it worth it for me to kill myself so I can get back to my base in time to save my bed? Now, there's a couple reasons why I'd want to do this. If you think you can get back to your bed to save it in time, you should. Because your bed is literally your lifeline. Without your bed, the odds are you're probably going to lose the game. Now, not always. However, it's best to have your bed because it's an infinite life instead of just having a single life. Because if I didn't have a bed right there, I'd be dead and the game would be over. So knowing when to void and when to, like, not and trust your teammate or collect resources is a huge part of the game. For example, if you make the decision that this person is too far and too close to my bed, and if I void, I risk the chance of A, dying to the void after he kills my bed, in which case an instant death, or me dying late enough that he's already going to get my bed. It was probably not going to be worth it because then you're going to have to fight him, which isn't ideal in any scenario. Now, there isn't just stuff to game sense, there's a bunch of other things to do as well. Another key thing is, I've talked about this, but when to push and when to not. In this map, you push through the diamond gen because this is the fastest possible way and gives easy access to the diamonds and mid and the base right next to you. So this map, the best possible thing to do would be to push through the diamond, which this is what most players do. However, you could potentially push to, in this case, pink, or create a straight bridge to aqua. Both you can do, however, they would not be the best scenarios to actually do it. So in this map, best thing to do is push to the diamond gen. However, different maps have call for different things, right? One other part, and this kind of goes into resource management, is deciding when you need to buy things. Like, I'm a little bit too late to get it, however, I placed a block over it, which prevented him from breaking it. That game decision making, instead of hitting him off, saved my bed. But that's besides the point. That wasn't what I was trying to say, but it just happened to be something that I could say in that exact moment. Another key decision making is deciding when to actually push. Is it worth your time to push? This mostly happens when you don't have a bed. For example, in that scenario, it was not ideal to push because I was already at their base. And thus, they would have died or risked the chance of having a final death just to kill me, which is never worth it. Your bed or your life should be prioritized over everything else. Another thing is what you need to buy in every single scenario. For example, the scenario that I killed Aqua's bed, I didn't have... There's no need for me to buy TNT, as I had enough tools and it was only 1 or 2 layers of items that I could very easily break. So there was no point in me actually buying TNT, and it would just be a waste of actual resources. One other thing I just suggest you doing is when you die like that, I'd suggest you look around because you're in spectator for 5 seconds. Look around and gain any information you can. Gain who's bridged to what base early game. Is anyone close to my bed? Or just gain information while you're actually dead. Now this can actually prove pivotal in the scenario, because if you see while you're spectating it's someone's pushing towards your bed and drinks an invis pot or something, you can call a shout out and say, hey, there's an invis coming to our base, be ready for it. And that could potentially save your just entire team's life. Now I see my traps triggered, however I know that there's wool. So exactly, if I was to void in that scenario I would have died. I know that I just had wool over my bed, so there's no point in me actually trying to void because I would die before, or I would die as I get in my bed. Minor fatigue trap is a huge advantage, and I highly suggest you have. However, it's not going to save you in every single scenario. In some scenarios, there's just nothing you can do. If someone has shears and you have wool over your bed, you are still going to die to them, even if you have a minor fatigue trap. So deciding when to void and when to just say, damn, that sucks, my bed's dead, is another key part to the game. And probably the last but not least tip to actually decision making in this game is when to push a fight. Like right now, I can see that 2 of them are there, and there's no shot that I can take on both of them. However, I decided to use a fireball, which gives me a prime opportunity to actually kill one and have a potential fairer fight with the other. However, I got absolutely destroyed. I decided, first off, it was a 2v1, so I should not take that fight. However, I hit one off with a fireball, so I thought I could, but I kind of messed up and got absolutely comboed. Either way, that's going to be it for the first guide of the video. If you guys do enjoy this series, please just watch other videos. I think they help out a lot. Also, comment if you want to see me do any other videos, if you want to see me do a Skywars guide, TNT guide, whatever it is. If you want me to see me do different guides or more specific guides for different games, please do comment it and I will respond and possibly do that. Either way, if you guys did enjoy today's video, please consider subscribing. It means the world to me. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.